This man, with over 17 murders.
No comment, nothing.
What would you do if someone fell with you in the alley at midnight? What would you do if you found out your neighbor is a serial killer? How did this man kill 13 people and not get catch? These aren't just stories, these are realities. The killer who managed to escape.
Number 1. Theodore Robert Bundy.
Ted Bundy, one of the most notorious serial killers in American history, was born on November 24, 1946 in Burlington, Vermont. His early life seemed relatively normal, but behind his charming exterior, a dark side emerged. Bundy began his killing spree in the early 1970s, targeting young women, often with long hair parted in the middle. His method was chillingly consistent. He would approach women in public place, pretend to be injured or in need of help, then abduct, assault, and murder them. Bundy's victims were often found in remote locations, and he would go to great lengths to conceal evidence, which made him difficult to catch. His ability to blend in as a normal, attractive man led to false sense of security, and he often used his good looks and intelligence to manipulate those around him, including police officers and even potential witnesses. In 1975, Bundy was finally arrested after a police officer pulled him over and discovered bullet tools in his car. Bundy's trial became a media sensation, and he eventually confessed to 3 murders, though the actual number could be higher. Bundy's case was particularly shocking because of his sudden escape from custody in 1977. After being captured again, he was sentenced to death.
Yet you're fascinated by him.
Very, very. Every night when I go to bed, I just, I get very scared. I shut my door and lock him,
Ted Bundy was executed by electric chair on January 24, 1989 in Florida, ending the reign of one of America's most infamous killers.
I can't really talk about that right now. That's weird. It's too painful.
Number 2. John Wayne Gacy, a killer with an innocent and sociable appearance. John Wayne Gacy, born on March 17, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois, was an American serial killer notorious for the sexual assault and murder of at least 33 boys and young men during the 1970s. Gacy was known for performing at children's parties and charitable events dressed as Pogo the Clown, earning him the moniker the Clear Clown. After torturing and sexually assaulting his victims, Gacy murdered them by asphyxiation or strangulation. He buried 26 of his victims in the crawl space beneath his house, with others disposed of in nearby rivers. His downfall began with the disappearance of 15-year-old Robert Pitts in December 1978.
Gacy, it's time for you to die!
Gacy confessed to his murders in a phone call.
Hey, I got news for you. I killed 33 times. You're only gonna kill me once. Gacy outsmarted him again.
In 1918, Gacy was convicted of 33 murders and sentenced to death. He was executed by lethal injection on May 10, 1994. Before we move on to the third killer, make sure you've subscribed to the channel and like this video. To stay updated on future videos, hit the notification bell. Number 3. Richard Ramirez, Night Stalker. Ramirez had a troubled childhood marked by abuse and exposure to crime. He was heavily influenced by his older cousin, who showed him graphic photos of violent acts during the Vietnam War. Ramirez's crimes began in 1984 and escalated quickly. He targeted both men and women, breaking into homes at night, his victims, and often leaving satanic symbols behind. After months of fear and police efforts, Ramirez was catch in 1985 after being recognized by the police.
There's no thrill like a good kill.
At his trial, he was convicted of 13 murders, 5 attempted murders, and 11 sexual assaults.
You don't understand me. I gotta be young, good and evil.
Do you think that evil can be reincarnated?
I hope so.
Ramirez was sentenced to death, but to spend the rest of his life on death row. He died on June 7, 2013, from complications related to cancer.
But these things, contribute to a person, to a person's frustration and anger, and at some point in life, he explodes.
Richard Ramirez's case remains one of the most chilling chapters in true crime history, symbolizing the terror that can hide behind a seemingly ordinary figure. Number 4. Charles Manson, leader of a deadly cult. Charles Manson was born on November 12, 1934, was the leader of a cult in California during the 1960s. Famous for orchestrating heinous crime.
Tell me in a sentence who you are.
Nobody. I'm nobody. I'm a tramp, a bum, a hobo.
Crimes in August 1969 under Manson's direction, member of the Manson family. Attacked the home of actor Sharon Tate, brutally murdering her and 4 others. In 1971, Manson was convicted of murder and conspiracy to commit murder and was sentenced to death. His sentence was commuted to life imprisonment. This Charles Manson died on November 19, 2017, at the age of 83.
Well, God, I guess you're my best friend, being I invented you.
You believe in God, Charles?
Sure, I believe in myself. Why wouldn't I? Which one?
Are you Jesus Christ?
Which Jesus? There's all kinds of Jesuses. There's a black Jesus down in Florida. He's having a good time. There's a Mexican Jesus in Mexico. I mean, there's all kinds of There's a Jewish Jesus. I mean, Jesus, There's all kinds of Jesus coming back everywhere. And nothing can stop it. It's a consciousness that lives in your mind.
Number 5. Jeffry Damher, the killer who went undetected for years. Jeffry Damher was born on May 21, 1916 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Was an American serial killer who murdered 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. He lured his victims, often young men from marginalized communities, with promise of money or companionship, leading them to his residence. There he incapacitated them using drugs or alcohol, strangled them, and engaged in sexual acts with their corpses.
Never see my mother have to go through this again. Never, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I hate you, motherfucker. I hate you. This is out of control. Don't fuck with me, Jeffrey. I kill you. God damn it. Look at me, motherfucker.
Dahmer's motivations were complex, rooted in profound feelings of loneliness and a desire for control. He sought to keep his victims as a permanent fixture in his life, believing that by preserving their body parts he could maintain a sense of closeness and possession. Dahmer's motivations were complex, rooted in profound feelings of loneliness and a desire for control. He sought to keep his victims as a permanent fixture in his life, believing that by preserving their body parts he could maintain a sense of closeness and possession. These actions reflect deep-seated psychological disorders and an inability to form healthy human relationships. Number 6. Aileen Wuornos, the Death Angel. Aileen Wuornos was an American serial killer who murdered 6 men in Florida during the late 1980s and early 1990s.
Much physical trouble because it was all in 1 year. 7 people in 1 year.
Oh well.
But why not say now?
Because I'm out of retaliation for taking my life like this and getting rich off it all these years in total pathological lying.
Wuornos claimed that she killed the men in self-defense during attempt assault, but she was convicted of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to death and executed in 2002. Number 7. Edmund Kemper, a genius killer. Edmund M. Kemper, born on December 18, 1948, in Burbank, California, is an American serial killer known for his intelligence and imposing stature. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches tall, possessing an IQ of 145.
And then a month later, I'm up living with my grandparents in the mountains, and 10 months later, I murdered them. It made it worse to be on top of a mountain. I was literally on top of a mountain when it happened. And I sensed everybody in the world just stopping what they were doing, turning around, saw what I did, and are coming to get me.
At the age of 15 in 1964, Kemper committed his first murder by killing his paternal grandparents. After his release at 21 between 1972 and 1973, he murdered 8 young women, earning the moniker the Coed Killer. Following these crimes, he was convicted of 10 counts of murder and received multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole. As of now, he remains incarcerated at the California Medical Facility. Number 8. Gray Ridgway, Green River Killer. Gray Ridgway, known as the Green River Killer, is an American serial killer who confessed to killing 71 women in the state of Washington during the 1980s and 1990s. So authorities believe there may be more victims. Ridgway victims were often sex workers, and many of the bodies were found near the Green River. He evaded capture for years until his DNA was linked to the crimes in 2001.
And a picture of my son, they would know I was a probably normal person.
But you were really using your son as part of your ruse.
In exchange for avoiding the death penalty, Ridgway pleaded guilty to 49 years murders. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
What I believe, and that is what God says to do, and that's to forgive. You are forgiven, sir.
Ridgway's case is one of the most notorious serial killer investigations in U.S. history. Number 9. Ottis Toole, the Grinning Monster. Ottis Toole was an American serial killer who, along with his accomplice Henry Lee Lucas, committed several murders in the 1970s and 1980s. Toole was convicted of at least 6 murders, though some believe the true number of victims may be higher. He is most famous for the 1984 murder of a 6-year-old boy.
6 or fire? Or I like both.
Toole suffered from severe mental health issue and claimed to have received homicidal instructions from God. He died in prison in 1996 from illness. Number 10. Issei Sagawa, the Cannibal of Tokyo. Issei Sagawa is a Japanese man famous for committing a gruesome act of cannibalism in 1981. At the age of 32, he murdered his classmate, Renee Hartwell, a Dutch woman he had invited to his apartment in Paris.
生きたままじゃやっぱり無理だって言うて、それは食べれば死ぬでしょみたいな。でもそうでもないと思うんだ。1、2年の肉は。でもそれじゃあ満足できなかった。
After killing her, he sexually assaulted her body and ate parts of it. Sagawa was arrested, but due to the legal loopholes in his mental state, he was declared legally insane and sent to a mental institution. However, he was released after just 2 years due to the lack of formal extradition agreement between France and Japan.
従者以外の方の通り抜けはご遠慮くださいっていうのを歩いている時にふっと目について。
And that is for the final killer. What do you think of this list? What would you like in this video to be about? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye!